Hey everybody, thought I'd share a little bit about what I've been doing over the past year or so. So I've been kind of stuck here a lot longer than I expected and just using the house to sort things out and just bide my time till I can figure out whether I'm staying or not, or if I'm going to go to Denver or not, that type of thing. And don't really have much to show. I kind of don't like to show much in the house because it's kind of ugly here. I keep this little place here on the wall. I had it over here for a little bit. I had it in my bedroom for a little bit, but this is what the house looks like. And I haven't made a whole lot of progress with this heap of stuff, and this is only a small part of it, right? So there's a lot more stuff to sort out. But I have made a lot of progress since, the whole thing started. But anyways, yeah, I kind of have this little display here I've been keeping just to make myself feel at home. Plus, I've been making videos and sharing all my pictures and stuff. So, since Rosie died, I've been just taking the time to just reflect on my life. What am I going to be doing? Well, I've been in the process of changing course as it is, but having Rosie and Gary get sick and die on me like that, it's just been like, wow, like I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them anyways. Like I felt like I really need to take care of them for the rest of their life and do everything. So it was really difficult trying to figure out how that's going to work. So I feel kind of just stuck here. It's kind of a lonely place, and I was thinking strongly about moving to Denver for that matter, so I don't have to be alone. Now, I have a few friends up here, but not people that I can just like hang out with and do the same things with me. See, anyways, just for fun, I thought I'd share a couple of things that I've received from my father because I've been telling you guys that's just something that I was brought up with industrial music. And I love my dad's music, so that's something that we've been able to sort of to share about all our life, and so we were really big fans of Cabaret Voltaire. When they split up, Richard Kirk went off and did all his own stuff. So he sent me these albums. I think it's interesting that Richard Kirk did a Cabaret Voltaire album by himself, and then he just up and died on us, and it was really surprising. We didn't know he was sick. We never found out what happened to him. Anyways, the other thing he sent me, just some extra CDs. I think I'm not sure. He didn't tell me why he was giving me all these, but this is something I probably used to have a copy of. I'm thinking maybe he doesn't listen to Frontline Assembly as much as he used to, but this is one I don't have because I didn't really like this album as much when it came out. And then King Crimson, definitely always liked this band. So we were also fans of Hawkwind. So check it out. A lot of times, when extraterrestrials are involved with music, right? They find a medium to channel, but not just aliens. They just came right to Earth and started a band, right? Ha. Anyways, yeah, I like to listen to some good space rock, and I think a lot of the trance techno I listen to kind of has that space traveler kind of essence to it. But with Frontline Assembly, I was telling you here, I've had all these visions. They were one of my favorite bands. I used to even think about joining Frontline Assembly, but there was like a turning point in their career, like that album I showed you there. That's like one of the first albums I just really didn't like by them. So it's kind of funny. So I'm thinking, that was in my dad's collection. He probably didn't like as much either. So he figures I'm a bigger fan than him, and that's probably why he gave me some of that stuff. But I used to have like everything I could get by Bill Lee, but so like as I'm going to tell you later in my story, everything kind of came to kind of a really uncomfortable point where I ended up getting rid of all of my Frontline Assembly stuff. So that's probably why some of the stuff hasn't been in my collection either. So anyways, but that's the big part of the reason I'm in Montana is I was going into the visionary state and I was experiencing this paranormal anomaly or whatever anomaly in nature that I've been experiencing. When I'm finding out the visionary state is just as ancient as humanity. But and in fact it's kind of interesting, like right now, since the war's been going with Israel and that, people are starting to bring up biblical prophecy, blah blah blah. Anyway, so I feel like that's like my personal experience with the visions, like I don't want to compare it to something like that, but it's a kind of a lesson in discernment as far as being able to have a prophecy, being able to have psychic awareness to some extent, and learn a little bit of stuff that's remote to you, like whether it's about the future, about people you should know, and And so I feel like the moral of the story for me is like, okay, if you have a prophetic vision about something, and it's something you would have never thought of in the first place, then it's almost like it's really been a suggestion or a seed of thought. Like, I would have never thought of contacting Bill Lieb if I hadn't had these visions. Although I liked his music a lot, I probably would have said hi to him and shook his hand if he was on tour, but I would have never thought, maybe I should join his band or anything like that. So, like, whether I do that or not depends on if I like the idea. So the way I see these people going to war, they've seen all these prophecies, so whether they want to do it or not depends on if they like the idea or not. So really, it makes you wonder, is it just a prophecy or is it a suggestion, and do they like it anyway? So that's kind of a lot of what brought me here with Rosie. So Rosie's been kind of my spiritual mentor. She's been through a lot of colorful psychic stuff too. So anyways, so over the course of the past year, so of course Rosie and Gary died. That was really heartbreaking. Now I felt alone, and so I was still going to see my goose. So as you see on my YouTube channel here, I got lots and lots of goose videos. So Easter was keeping me happy. I had a hugging partner. So Easter was living at the bird rescue center because I'm not allowed to keep them within city limits because geese are big, loud, noisy birds, and nobody can tolerate that. Anyways, I got busted. My bird's been living at the rescue center, and well, a fox got in and decimated the whole gaggle. I think the only birds that survived were a couple that could fly. So most of the birds there couldn't fly. That's why they're at the rescue center. And so yeah, it really it was decimating to my spirit just the same. And the ironic thing is, so that very week, so in September when Rosie was in the process of dying and I was taking care of her, I think around that time the foxes had entered into the bird's pen. And when I came back to see Easter, he had a big giant scab on his neck. So I knew he had fought something. And I thought, well, at least the geese were ever able to fend for themselves. But what happened was, like right at the beginning of the year, like early in January there, the snow was coming down real thick and heavy, and it made it easy for the fox to get in and sneak up on the geese. And well, I think the fox had a vengeance for my bird, because I'm thinking my bird was probably the one that fought it off. He was the only bird that had a big scab on his neck. Well, when he died, he was the only bird that was like really chewed up. Like the fox chewed his neck up from like head to shoulder and chewed up his back. And that's like, at first I thought, well, the animal needs to eat. And I realized, well, that ain't good eating. Like, he just chewed it up because he was probably mad at it. That fox hated my bird, but he put all those birds to sleep without leaving a single mark. I mean, there was like probably like 10 or 12 birds in that whole thing. And so, yeah, but anyways, since Rosie died, I've been like really focused on like, okay, I got to get out of this house as soon as I can, which is why I'm surprised I'm still here, right? But anyways, so I signed up with UPS, and they needed people that could bring their own vehicle to work and drive around the Christmas time of year, because they get really busy, and that was really kind of cool for a little bit. But it started getting kind of icy out, and my Chevy Suburban needs its four-wheel drive, what you call the actuator, replaced. So it was starting to, like, I got good snow tires, I got snow and ice tires on it, but it was getting to where like I was almost getting stuck in some places out there. And so like one day it was just like a really bad weather day, and I come home for lunch thinking, I'm going to call my supervisor and tell him I can't handle the rest of my route. But then I felt like, maybe I should go out and try it. So it was really a sad day, because I took my truck out and started driving off. And high school just let out. There's fresh snow on the ground. The high school's just letting out. And there's some intersections around here that don't have stop signs. And so, like, when you come up to those intersections, you got to kind of check and make sure no one's coming. And, well, there wasn't really anyone, like, coming that I could see. They weren't in my range of view. But as soon as I started crossing that intersection, there was this young man, going through his gears. He had a Ford pickup, and and I looked up and I saw him. I knew he was just going to step on his brake and slide into me. So I was just trying to get it through the intersection. I was like, I don't want to let him T-bone my truck, So I let him hit the back end of my truck. I was really hoping to clear it entirely, but he hit the back end of my truck. He just made it really ugly because he smashed in the paneling. He totaled his Ford pickup on my truck. My truck slammed into another one that was parked there. It totaled another Ford pickup. and the damn thing still works. So I shouldn't say damn, but it's running, so it's actually a blessed vehicle. It's still working. It's just ugly, but I got kicked off the driving job because the police offered me the police officer awarded me the citation. You know, they made it out to be that the person from the right had the right of way, but the guy was like way down the street before he hit me. Anyways, that's because there was fresh snow on the ground. Anyways, I ended up going back to UPS as a ride-along driver helper, and that was kind of interesting. I ended up working out on the east side of the Flathead Valley here, and so it was just like all the snow on the ground, Christmas decorations, the beautiful mountains. My driver was awesome. He was like somebody that's been working there for like 26 years and like had the same route for all this time, and it was just really interesting. So it was kind of fun to go along for that job, you know. And so I worked at UPS till they didn't need me anymore. And then and I went to Aero Shuttle and I worked for a few months there. And I just figured, you know, I can't really do much with the winter weather and everything. So I figured I'm just going to put moving on hold and work. So I had a falling out with them though, and so unfortunately, you know, but I also needed to quit and come back and just start focusing on getting rid of all this stuff. So so I was able to sell off Gary's old trucks and sell off a lot of stuff. And then I tried to come back to UPS as a package handler, but that could barely give me any work. I was expecting like 3 to 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. I was thinking that's perfect. You know, that'd be perfect and give me time to work on all the stuff at the house. But they barely gave me any hours. You come in, it's only like a couple of hours. Then they got to where like they were only calling me in once or twice a week, and then I had to find other work. So I ended up working at the what they call the Under the Big Sky Festival. It was like mostly like country music, like up near Whitefish. It was super beautiful there, but it was like I was working inside this like tent type of thing, selling food, facing right in the sun. Thankfully, it was only in the 90s, but oh my God, it was real hot in there. And because I hadn't been working on my feet for such a long time, it was excruciating. Like all of my injuries were bothering me. And I just felt like my back was killing me. And I started feeling like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm getting so old and out of shape. I can barely handle standing here to do this easy, super easy job. So it paid off. I got a nice payout from it. But then I ended up working at Willow's Huckland in a Hungry Horse. I used to work there 10 years ago. And I guess I'm still on good terms with the owner, so thankfully he let me come back. It was kind of a lot of fun working up there. It was like a recap on the good old days when I used to live in Hungry Horse with Rosie. And but yeah, it just seemed like I noticed if I stand too long and work too long, I just felt like stuff was hurting on me. But then I finally found a good steady job down here. So I work at an ice cream shop that makes their own ice cream right up here in Whitefish. You know, it's really some good ice cream. I'm really happy to sell it, you know, and I thought, you know, it's a bunch of high school kids and there's really no adult working with them. So, you know, I wasn't going there thinking, you know, I just want a kid's job. I just want an easy job. It's got a good pay rate. It pays tips. And so you can really make some money working there. But, you know, it kind of worked out because, like, I get to work by myself because, you know, when I get off at 5, the kids come and run it till they close and they run on the weekend. And then I go to Papa John's and I work about, you know, 15, 20 hours a week there. And I'm getting lots and lots of hours. So what I'm trying to do is just see if I can save up all my money and get a newer vehicle on the road. Because if I can get it licensed up, then I can go and do my own airport shuttle service. And if I was able to do that, the good thing about that is, you know, I could work through the ski season, you know, for 3 or 4 months. It's super busy. Then it gets dead. And I could actually take time off and then come back for summer. We get a lot of people that come up to see Glacier National Park. So, you know, it would be a great way to make enough money to put it back and then be able to take time off from work and then be able to work on all of my projects, be able to travel and visit people and I also want to be able to take classes and seminars and, you know, and stay active in martial arts to the extent that I'm staying in shape. But I really got a lot of work to do as far as like building up my work station to be able to write music and a lot of stuff I need to learn on. So I'm looking to take classes and stuff like that. And so that's where, like, I feel like I could do it all here just as long as I'm making enough money. But at the same time, I was thinking if I went to Denver, it'd be great to be living there with my good friend that invited me because, you know, he's really good with computers and stuff and he's kind of wanting to do some of the same things. So it's kind of like either or, you know. I just think it's a good idea to keep a home base here in the Flathead Valley. You know, I mean, I really never thought I'd move to Montana. It just seems like not an interesting place. But now that I've been here, like I've been here like 14 years, you know, I'm finding like it's actually a very special little place. It's just like a low population and stuff, but it's actually a somewhat progressive mindset up here. Like on the other side of the mountains is more like your typical rural people and stuff. But the Flathead Valley is kind of a special place, and I really want to keep some type of a home base here to where, like, you know, maybe I'm living here and I'm able to travel out and see people and do stuff. So like if you know, if it works out and I make enough money, and let's say, you know, I do good with the music and stuff, then it would give me an excuse to travel. Then I can start planning trips to go, you know, say do a show or stuff like this, you know. So anyways, yeah, so I haven't been making a lot of videos because I've been super exhausted. It's taken a long time to get my stamina back. Now I finally feel like I've got the energy, you know, to sit down and talk a lot and share some of my thoughts. But anyways, I just really wanted to share what I've been up to, you know, because I want to keep telling my story. You know, I brought it up to where I was 30 years ago, and it kind of sucks. I feel like I haven't really gotten very far. But what's happening though is I'm really filling in a lot of you know, spiritual knowledge and new knowledge all along the way. It just, you know, unfortunately, you know, I've also been a procrastinator in some aspects. Like people tell me, if you wanted to be in the music business, you'd be there by now, this type of thing. But, you know, I would like to really kind of go in a little more about why, you know, it hasn't happened, you know, but that would take a long time. So, but yeah, it really, you know, really helps if, you know, just really had to find the right direction, figure out exactly what I need to do, find the right help. And I'm really kind of happy with the way things are working nowadays. It's a lot easier for someone like me. You know, I just really want to be able to write music without owning like, you know, $200,000 worth of studio equipment, you know. So I can at least start out affordably and experiment with the possibility of writing music. And then as time goes on, then maybe I'll be able to afford more expensive equipment if I need to. But that's just it. It's like, you know, I'm really trying to learn what I need and what I don't need. Because, I mean, I don't want to waste money on stuff I don't need just because I think it's pretty and shiny, right? So anyways, that's been where, you know, I'm at a point in my life where I'm really trying to change my focus from where I thought I should be a martial arts teacher. I should try to make money teaching martial arts so I could have a good, healthy life and stuff. And so, you know, I've always been, I don't know, I feel like I've kind of had good luck with martial arts to the extent that I found some of the right teachers throughout my life. I get positive feedback. People seem to think I learn it good, I teach it good, you know, I'm good at it. So, but, so it's one thing to have a skill and be good at it, be able to do it for yourself, but to be able to take a crowd of people and teach it to them, or just be able to manage a crowd of people is a skill set in itself, and that's one that I don't really have. You know, I feel like there's just a lot of reasons why I'm not really good in front of the general public, you know, in front of a crowd like this. So it's not, you know, it's not something that is going to work for me. So I'm going to keep on training martial arts and teach it privately to people that are willing to put up with my antics. But where I'm really needed, I believe, is more so in the music community. I really feel more needed in that way, that I should be writing music and making music. And I'm going to tell you the big reason I haven't been, a big thing that's been slowing me down, is I do feel intimidated by the amount of music that's out there. That is so, some of the music that's been done is so good. And there's so many people making music, I just don't see where, you know, I could possibly be needed. But as I've been sharing these visions and stuff, it's like, you know, I feel like there's been something from the other side. So if you know, whether you believe in that stuff or not, that's, you know, that some people might think that's just my imagination. But I kind of feel like, you know, music, the kind of music that I'm into attracts, you know, magical things like this. You know, something like, you know, me going to visionary state, having maybe a spirit being on the other side communicating with me. That would make sense if you knew that the music I'm talking about has a lot to do with psychic awareness and intuition and all this kind of stuff. So that's why, you know, I feel more and more like I should be doing it. It's like, I mean, look at all the hints and all the motivation. You know, I feel like all the synchronicities I've been sharing about the visions, believe, and all, like, you know, it's just to say this is what you should be doing. And I've been in denial for a very long time. And I just feel like I haven't always had the right help and support. But the number one thing that's going to make me interested in music is, you see this magic? That magic coming down? So I like that thing. So it's like this, like coming out of the music or going into the, however you want to look at that. That's why I want to make music, because I feel music coming down from the air. So that's what cosmic music is in my mind. It comes from the cosmos. It's coming from the cosmos. I feel it coming down. And I'm just like, man, I really wish I can interpret this music, you know? So that's why. Because I feel like, so I don't care how many people are doing music anymore. And I'm just like, ah, screw all that. That's, you know, that's self-doubt. You don't need that. So anyways, yeah, so that's where, like, it's kind of slow going, you know? That's why, you know, it's kind of like in that movie, the panda, what do you call that, Kung Fu Panda? Remember when the turtle master died? You know, that's kind of what I've had to go through, you know. Rosie's kind of like that turtle master, and I've had to spend the whole last year going, what am I going to do without Rosie? Well, I'm going to do it myself, that's what. So anyways, yeah, Rosie's been a good magic teacher. She, you know, she's been around the music scene and all this type of stuff, so she's been really a good mentor for somebody who's an artist, you know, somebody that along the lines of industrial, because this is psychedelic music. This is along the lines of modern shamanistic type of you know, electronic music culture. This is like what I really always wanted all my life, and so this is where I'm really just changing course, and this is what ultimately I hope to accomplish. So, you know, I'm just sharing, like, here's where I've been, here's where I'm stuck at. I'm just really hoping by next spring I'll be able to figure out if I have to stay here or move out. But yeah, all that stuff's on hold. So I'm gonna enjoy sharing my life and making these videos, and I hope you enjoy them with me. And until I can really start getting my plans to work out, I think I'm just gonna sit back and be a storyteller, and just try to make this a nice, easy winter, and focus on bringing in some money. Okay, so you guys take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye now.